I'll just give you a quick run through of what I've read, then I'll go through the whole thing. This post is addressing the fucking state of PvP, the state of territory wars, and the state of actually putting territories into conflict, and how much of a fucking mess it is. Basically, I don't know how to beat this lag, boys.
We have to beat the lag by just being through it. There's no way.
We cannot, man. We've sat here for fucking 10 minutes.
Well, you didn't have us. Now we're here.
Okay, so I kind of read through it last night, and I was like, fucking hey, there's some cool stuff going on. And then I read through it again this morning, and genuinely it sounds like there's some good shit happening. But at the moment, it is all words. So who knows exactly when and if and why and how. But a couple of the main points that I read are, firstly, open world PvP. One thing that they said they're doing kind of imminently is making sure that if you are flagged for PvP, you have increased luck, which is cool. Well, what I'm hoping with that is you'll find lots of smaller groups up in like Shattered Mountain and Reekwater and things like that. And you will also get a reduction in your gear's durability if you're PvP flagged, which again is kind of cool because a lot of us are in that point where we PvP so much, it's really, really expensive. There's a few more bits, but that's the two main points I took from that. Next is the wars. There's a lot of words within the post, but there's not much kind of like meat on the bone, you know? So the thing that I took away from it, there's no kind of big changes outside of them trying to fix the exploits, basically. You know, any invulnerability bugs, any weapon exploits or imbalances, one for a better term. That's what they're focusing on, basically, with the wars. They have obviously addressed the lag, but they just said they're working on that. And finally, we've got the territory control, which is probably one of the most exciting bits for me. One, they've confirmed and they've addressed that they know that Everfall, mainly Everfall, of course Windsor as well is quite big, but Everfall is one of the only towns to really make any money. So what they're going to do is bring out a change that will help distribute the income or the tax income throughout all the settlements, not just Everfall, basically. I'm not sure what that is. They haven't explained exactly what it is, but they said that's coming. And the most exciting thing for me is that they're bringing out some new PvP mission types, some variety, basically. One to split up the Zergs that you see, just running the three same points. So there'll be a different variety of missions, but also more of them. So there'll be lots of pockets of PvP happening rather than mega Zergs fighting. They are the main points that I've picked up on from the blog. So we'll go through it all. We'll get into the meat of it straight away. So the open world PvP, there are two changes coming in the short term that should help. The first is that we're going to increase the luck of players when flagged. This should be an important and lasting benefit to flagging. Second, we are going to reduce the durability damage to the gear when flagged. So these are the two bits that we just picked up on. This will reduce the risk of flagging a bit, especially in the end game with the repair costs. In the medium term, we will also adjust the rewards for PvP kills at 60, so they enhance the player's watermark. I'll pop the link to this in chat for you guys, and of course on YouTube it'll be down below. Longer term expected new open world activity that flagged players can participate in that we hope spurs rewards and smaller scale engagements. I didn't dive into this in the overview because who knows exactly what they're thinking about this. I'm really hoping they bring out some sort of caravan system that we were talking about, which transports materials from settlement to settlement, but you have to be PvP flagged to do it, and people can intercept you, or I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to bring out, but this sounds really exciting, and I'm excited to see what they come up with. In addition to rewards, we understand that there are some gameplay issues with open world PvP. Currently, it's hard to know whether or not players in your faction are flagged or not. This can make it difficult to know whether you have backup and assess whether you should engage or not. We are aware of this issue and working on a fix. We also understand that combat tactics can be difficult since the visuals for aware effects spells are the same. So it's difficult to know whether a spell is from an ally or an enemy. Unfortunately, this is not a trivial fix. It will require a significant code update and numerous asset changes. It's kind of annoying that this is quite a tough thing for them to sort, because you would have thought if you looked at any large-scale PvP, you know, the fundamentals of having your skills the same color as the enemy skills are going to be quite a problem. I mean, I don't know if you guys know me. I come from a Guild Wars 2 background, and you know, 300-man battles. This is just such a standard thing. So it's a shame that they haven't done this, but hopefully, magicians behind the scenes managed to sort that out, because that is massive. It's a shame because you see an ice shower, and no matter whether it's yours or an enemy's, you always try and avoid it because you just never know. So, well, at least they've addressed it. They know it's a problem, and hopefully they'll fix it. I'm baffled why they never implemented that in the first place. I know. Should have been a core feature. Anyway, boys, onwards. Okay, so war. As stated above, the lag and exploits in war have hurt the experience. With the patch coming out this week, most of the major issues should be resolved. There have been some complaints about war happening too often. There is a 24-hour cooldown between wars and the war windows. That means war happens at most every 2 days per territory. Players can also delay that through the influence race, which is now much more viable since we fixed the escalating influence issue. Overall, we think a war every 2 days is a good cadence, but please continue to let us know what you think. We are seeing war fatigue from factions which funnel a group of players into every war. While we love the we don't have a choice, man. We're not the only people fighting. Give us a break. While we love this cooperation, having one company or one company's worth of players in multiple territories should be very hard, and not what we are balancing war cooldowns towards. It's good, man. It is. This makes sense. I agree with this. We are also continuing to review the balance within war. Defenders are winning more often than attackers, which is what we want. Currently, defenders win around 80% of wars. We want to reward defending companies that build up their ranks and upgrade their forts, but we want to keep an eye on balance as we resolve the major exploits. Make sure that both sides have a fighting chance. This is interesting, this one. So we know that communication and coordination in war is not optimal at the moment. It's hard to know what roles participants in war have chosen, so it makes coordination difficult. We will begin investigating ways of addressing these issues, but don't have anything planned in the near term. I'm glad that they've said something about this because, I mean, I don't do much of it. The Kang and Banana are doing an absolute sterling job, but actually putting a war board together is really, really tough. And the only way you can really do it is if you know your players and what they play all the time. So we have like an external system to make sure that we see who is playing what, but actually it's extremely time consuming, not to mention the fact that you don't know if someone's online, offline. You can't filter anything in the war. It's just a piece of shit. So I'm so glad that they're going to do something about it in the future. Everything about the wars right now is arse, man. It is bad. And like near on everything about it is bad, apart from the winning. That's kind of fun, right? Okay, so the territory control. This is super cool and something I'm pretty excited about. So overall, we're seeing territories change hands with decent regularity, blah, 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 and seeing a good spread between factions on most servers. We do have two systems in place to help with balance. We allow players to switch factions, but don't allow them to switch into the dominant faction. We also increase the influence underdog factions earn for PvP missions to give them a better chance of earning the right to declare wars. We are watching faction balance on all the servers and becomes a general problem. We have a few ideas to help resolve it in interesting ways. I wish that they would expand on this, man. I really wish they would. We're aware that some territories, this is cool. I'm looking at you, Evergreen, produce a ton of tax income, while other towns can be much harder to support and upgrade. There is a change coming soon, TM again, which will help distribute a main tax income stream to every territory. We want to review the impact this has before we make further changes, but there are some other changes that we could make in medium term if this is insufficient. Please expand on these. Please, man, I'm excited. And a last bit of good news for all the territory flippers out there. There are some new PvP mission types coming to the game soon. This is fucking cool. Again, but they don't tell us what they are. I'm kind of sad about that, but it's kind of cool. These changes serve two purposes: adding some much needed variety to the PvP missions and helping distribute the PvP action to multiple locations to spread out some of the large PvP zergs we're seeing. Please let us know what you think about these changes when they go live soon. I'm so gutted that they don't tell us when, why, how, what, or anything right now, but You know, at the moment, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of words here. There's nothing being done right now, but there's a lot of words. Okay, the top things that are coming soon. 1 is the luck while PvP flagging. 2 is the durability to your gear while PvP flagged. And then the next interesting thing, which was down the bottom on the territory control, is new PvP missions. So it's kind of fucking cool. Just hope they bring it out sooner rather than later, along with all the other fixes and broken things right now.